This past season was a great season to be an Eagle. With the freshman team winning the track championship, the JV team winning the track championship, and the varsity team winning the track championship, along with a district championship, a regional championship, and another trip to the state Final Four. The varsity team had a lot of highlights this season, but when the season started out, we knew we had a lot of questions to answer, and that was the mentality we took all year long. After our first game and a loss to Huber Heights Wayne, a top 5 team in the state, we knew we had to improve quite a bit to accomplish the goals that we wanted. And our players did that every day. From a big time win against Homestead, a powerhouse out of Indiana that was ranked in the top 5 in the state all year long, and that was also the very first time our program has beaten Homestead, we kind of knew we were getting better every day and the results were starting to pay off. As we entered Christmas break, we entered on a very high note. We then went to Canton Glen Oak High School and played in a holiday event there. We beat Glen Oak in a come-from-behind victory by 11, and they turned out to be a pretty good team as they also made the state Final Four. The very next day, we played against Pickerington Central, a team we were very familiar with and had not had much success against. They were the team that knocked us out of the tournament last year in the state Final Four, and then we played them this summer at Ohio State, and they put it to us pretty good. That's when retirement set in for me. Just kidding. I knew our kids would be eager to play that game over Christmas because they knew they had something to prove, plus they wanted to see where they were at. Even though we came up short in that game, our kids realized that they could compete at a high level. The next 5 days of practice was a turning point in our whole season. As a staff and as a team, we sat down and watched film every day of that game for 5 straight days. By the end of that 5th day, our players were sick of hearing about Pick Central and about how they could have done things better to beat them. But they also took that to heart. They knew they had to get better, they knew they wanted to get better, and they were willing to get better, not just as an individual, but as a group. Because of their sacrifice and because of their want and desire to achieve, that is why we made a huge run and made another state Final Four. We then went on and won quite a few games going into Classic in the country. We played a phenomenal game 1 against Lakota West, and then lost the second day to Centerville, who had an amazing game against us. That was the last loss of the season. We then went on and won 12 straight games, our biggest winning streak of the year, and we're playing extremely well going into the state Final Four. We all sit and wonder what could have happened, as obviously we didn't have a chance to compete in that Final Four. But that will never take anything away from what this team accomplished. The fact that they came together and had a lot of unproven facts, and people all across the state was wondering how good aren't they going to be this year rather than how good are they. Our kids answer that question day in, day out, game in and game out. And for that, myself and our coaching staff are forever grateful. This was an amazing group to coach and had a team full of selfless players that all they wanted to do is compete and compete for each other and sell out for each other. Trust me when I tell you this, as a coach that's been doing this for a lot of years, that doesn't happen every season. This team is very, very special. Obviously, it'll go down in history because of the COVID-19 issue, but it's also very special because of how selfless this team was. That doesn't happen very often, especially nowadays when everything is built on hype. This team did not care about hype. They cared about results, and more importantly, they cared for each other. I could not be more proud, our staff could not be more proud, and we are forever grateful to all you parents and players that made the sacrifice for us to have such an amazing season. Some of the awards that were given out this season are as follows. The track player of the year was Grace Van Sluten. First team track was Grace Van Sluten and Olivia Sims. Second team track was Ray Armstrong. Honorable mention track was Allie Ray and Aubrey Zamuda. District awards from the Coaches Association. Player of the year in our district was Grace Van Sluten. First team was Grace Van Sluten and Olivia Sims. Honorable mention was Ray Armstrong, Allie Ray, and Hannah Miller. These are some amazing accomplishments that made our team and our chemistry so good the entire year. As we move on to our individual awards that are given out by our coaching staff, I want to say these awards could go on to many, many players. And that's what makes this team so special, is they don't care about awards, they care about results. We decided to have 2 most improved players this year because it was hard to pick one. So our most improved players are, first is senior Aubrey Zamuda. Aubrey was a first-year full-time varsity player for us this year and did an amazing job. Early in the year, we weren't sure what we would get out of Aubrey, and then soon, very soon, we realized that she's been a kid that's worked hard to get to where she is, and she wanted to achieve more. Because of this, Aubrey worked hard, very, very hard in practice, and the results showed in the game. Her ability to rebound in space, finish with contact, and help our team succeed at a very high level is an achievement to how hard she worked in the offseason. So Aubrey, congratulations, you are one of our most improved players. Our second most improved player is Allie Ray. Allie practiced varsity last year and played JV some. She got in some varsity games last year as a sophomore, but not many. For her to take over at the point guard spot on a team that played a very competitive schedule and take care of the ball and run our team and score and defend the way she did as a first-year player is remarkable to where she came from one year to the next. Her work ethic in the off-season is the biggest reason why she achieves what she did this past season. Her workouts in the off-season gave her the confidence to know that she belonged on the floor in the biggest moments in the biggest games. And because of that, she performed. Allie has a great future ahead of her, and we're so thankful we have one more year with Allie. So congratulations, Allie. You are another one of our most improved players. Our last award goes to our Defensive Player of the Year. Our Defensive Player of the Year this year is Hannah Miller. Hannah has an unbelievable knack at keeping people in front of her defensively and just causing chaos. A lot of times, BCSN reporters refer to her as a gnat, and that's so true. I mean, she made opposing guards that were big-time college players not want to dribble the ball up against her anymore and look for any teammate to throw the ball to because they were done. Hannah did a great job of dictating our tempo defensively and was unbelievable at being a team defender as well as a one-on-one defender. She'll be greatly missed, as I'm sure she's enjoying the life in Colorado right now, and we wish her all the best as she takes on her future endeavors at the University of Colorado. So Hannah, congratulations. You are this year's Defensive Player of the Year.